the kind of monsoon rain they've had is not out of the natural variability. In fact, overall, since the 1950s, we're finding that the monsoon rainfall has actually dropped. Okay, it was an unusually wet year during the summer. But the other factor is this: the Pakistanis have actually deforested a lot of their country. And
Wait, I bet they wish they had fossil fuels.
Yeah,
instead of just deforesting and burning trees for fuel and heat.
That's right. And but you see, if you have a forest, most of the rain that falls actually gets absorbed by the roots and then re-emitted back into the atmosphere through the pores in leaves called stomata. And that actually is called transpiration. So you don't get the buildup of water when there's a forest. The other thing is that the forest roots hold the ground in place. So when you do have a flash flood, it doesn't take away right. Landslides and stuff. So yeah, that is more of a factor, much more of a factor than any climatic effects. It's the destruction of their forests. And, the forests are great because, of course, they give shade, but they also, when they're releasing the water vapor into the air, there's another cooling effect, and that is that the water vapor itself is like a mist and eventually forms clouds and it cools the planet. So, yeah, the Pakistani floods, yeah, if they want to have less floods, don't cut down all their forests. I mean, that's a real environmental issue.
Yeah, maybe have some natural gas.
Yeah.
to heat your homes.
Well, and people have to realize, coal saved Britain's trees.
Sure.
People talk about coal as if it's this great environmentally destructive thing. I think I have a piece of coal here. Just let me reach over. Yeah, here's a piece of coal. This is from Kentucky. Okay, it's from Eastern Kentucky, and it's a very solid piece of very nice bituminous coal. And the bottom line is that before they were using coal, they were cutting down all their trees, not just for the ships and everything, but also for fuel. So coal actually was a very good development. Now that we've designed much more clean burning methods of coal, there's no way Alberta should be going off coal. I mean, the impact of Ontario going from about a quarter of our electricity by coal in around 2000, 2002, because Dalton McGuinty, our previous prime minister or premier, he said he put a big pile of coal on a table in a press conference and said, "This is old technology. We're going to get rid of it. Okay. And he did. He got rid of it. It's like virtually zero. Well, it is 0% electricity now. And they had virtually a doubling of electricity prices as a consequence because coal is very cheap. And China knows that. India know that. And so they're progressing, no matter what we do, they're pushing coal to the limit. I mean, we're going to see coal stations literally for decades being built by China. So what we do has no impact anyway.
Right. And that pursuit of green energy and phasing out coal caused the manufacturing industry to collapse in Ontario because it just became too expensive.
Yeah, exactly. And of course, a poor society can't protect the environment anyways.
Right.
So, I mean, if you're really concerned about protecting the environment, you want to have prosperity, and you want to have it for another reason. One of the issues we looked at was Hurricane Ian.
Mm-hmm.
They said, "Oh, it's caused by climate change." Well, again, that's ridiculous. I mean, it was one of the most damaging storms in American history. But why is that? It's because there was more stuff to knock down. Okay.
Right.
Yeah. 100 years ago. Yeah. In the last 100 years, there's been a 13-fold increase in infrastructure. So that if you go to a beach in Florida where there was one hotel 100 years ago, statistically, there's 13 now. So while they're built better, there's just a lot more to knock down. And so, of course, you're going to have more damage. But, you have to remember that the past hurricane season was actually a fairly quiet season until Hurricane Ian came along. And then the NOAA, National Oceanic and Atmospheric Administration, American government, here's what they said. There is no strong evidence of century-scale increasing trends in U.S. landfalling hurricanes or major hurricanes. Similarly, for Atlantic Basin-wide hurricane frequency, and again, this is the American government, okay? Media don't like to report on it.
Right.
There is not strong evidence for an increase since the late 1800s in hurricanes, major hurricanes, or the proportion of hurricanes that reach major hurricane intensity. So to say that we are causing it from our greenhouse gas emissions is doubly wrong. First of all, that doesn't contribute to hurricanes, but there hasn't been an increase anyway.
Right.
So what are they talking about?
And I think that brings us to the European drought because once again, as with every weather condition, Literally every weather condition, somehow caused by climate change. As you rightly point out, Europe experienced its most severe drought in 500 years. But I don't know how my comfortable SUV went back in time and caused the last mega drought. There's nothing that Jeep can't do, apparently. Oh, hey, what you just saw there is a clip from my weekly full-length show, The Gun Show. It airs on Wednesday, but this is the internet. You can watch it whenever you feel like. You just have to become a subscriber to our paywalled premium content. Just go to rebelnewsplus.com to become a member today.